Good morning, Fowler Community Church family. Today, I'd like to give you all an update on what's going on here at FCC, but before we do that, let's read Philippians 2, 1 through 9 together. This is the Apostle Paul writing to the Church of Philippi. He says, "So if there is any encouragement in Christ, any comfort from love, any participation in the Spirit, any affection and sympathy, complete my joy by being of the same mind, having the same love, being in full accord and of one mind. Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interest, but also to the interest of others. Have this mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ Jesus, who, though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men, and being found in human form. He humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on the cross." You see here, Paul is calling us to put the interest and the well-beings of others before our own. He then goes on to use Jesus as an example. So if Jesus, who is equal with God, was willing to take on human form, humble himself, come to earth, and die for sinners, how much more should we be willing to humble and count ourselves as less significant and count others as more significant than ourselves? He even says that we are to do this in Christ Jesus. So we cannot do it on our own, but with the help of the Spirit. So two things considering this I'd like to talk about today. Tomorrow, Pastor Joel has called our church family to a day of prayer and fasting. Please take a look at the Facebook page for more details on that and to his words of encouragement tomorrow. But also, at this time, within our church family, we have several people who are sick and who are fighting illness. As COVID-19 cases are on the rise in our state and in our county, we want to, as a church, re-emphasize how we're thinking about it and about our COVID-19 processes. After talking with Joel, we thought it would be a good idea to revisit some of these processes and also about how we are reaching people who cannot be with us in person. If you're not able to be with us in person, and if you know someone that is unable to be with us in person, please remember that we are live streaming our services on Facebook every Sunday morning. They can be viewed after as well. But we invite you to worship with us in this way so that we can continue to stay connected during this time. So please share and encourage other people to join us virtually if they can't come in person. For those of us who are able to attend in person, we'd like to re-emphasize the following ways that we can love others and put their interests before ourselves. And that is, if only come to the in-person services if you are symptom-free. So if you're feeling sick, if you have a fever, please stay home and join us virtually. Hopefully, it's only for a short time. If you do come, please consider wearing a mask into the service, and at minimum, until you're seated. Also, please sit in family groups. And then we need to make sure that we're social distancing our family groups. And then, as always, please continue to wash your hands, have good hygiene, and use sanitizer frequently. Now, we all know that these aren't necessarily fun things, and we are so sick of doing these things, but for the sake of other people, and so that we can continue to keep our doors open and worship God, these are things that we must do in order to keep going. So as we continue to work through these interesting times, Let us stay in touch in creative ways. Let us put others before ourselves. And let's see how we can glorify God in how we're doing church, even when it's not easy. Thank you. Have a great day.